JJ and Ty back with us now. Now, the Yankees, as we all remember, passed on Harper back in 2019, and he wanted to be in the Bronx. 33 years old, 6 years left on this mega contract. Ty, is he worth pursuing at this juncture?
I know a lot of people will engage in conversations like, man, 6 years ago, we would have been a thing. Like, we would have been getting it popping. But as you mentioned, 6 years ago would have been the perfect fit. He was at the peak of his powers, an MVP, and obviously, you know, with his status, it would have been a perfect fit for this Yankee organization. 33 years old, Tommy John surgery, coming off of, you know, a subpar regular season, was awful in the playoffs. And now, as you mentioned, he's got that 6-year contract still left, or 6 years left on that deal, $330 million. I just don't love it. If that's plan A for the Yankees, something went terribly wrong. You investigate it, you see what's going on there in Philadelphia, but this cannot be where the Yankees go.
Totally out on this. And don't get me wrong, nobody, and I mean nobody, wanted Bryce Harper more than this guy when he was coming to free agency at around 2018, 2019. Feel like that ship has sailed. He's obviously not an outfielder anymore. Yes, he's done a nice job of transitioning into being a very solid defensive first baseman, but you mentioned his subpar postseason, the age, the wear and tear, the violent nature within his swing. And let's just look at the Yankee infrastructure. Aaron Judge at some point in time may need to become a first baseman. You don't have the DH spot available because Giancarlo Stanton is not going anywhere. And what, the Yankees all of a sudden are abandoning Ben Rice, who had some very impressive at-bats throughout most of last year? I wish it were 2018. I'd be all in on this move. It's 2025. No, thank you.
I'd say 0.0% chance of this one going on, Mr. Blutarski. And it also makes you wonder, JJ, another superstar outfielder on the market, as well as your Kyle Tucker, right? He could get more than $400 million. So is he worth a look for the Yankees or the familiar face in Cody Bellinger?
Okay, Kyle Tucker is worth a look for anybody. He is a tremendous hitter. The defense plays, the power plays, the all-around nature to his game plays. That said, fellas, it would not be my number one choice for the New York Yankees. Now, hear me out. I want Cody Bellinger back as a part of this team. I also want to see the Yankees go and make a trade for Steven Kwan. They desperately need themselves a leadoff hitter. That is a guy who could go and set the table. He runs the bases. He does not strike out. What a concept. Doesn't strike out. So, to me, that's where I want to see the Yankees go. Kwan, Bellinger. Now, if they go and get Kyle Tucker, that's great because you're getting the best player of the three I just mentioned. It also now looks at center field and says, Jason Dominguez, Spencer Jones, you up for that challenge.
A lot going on there. Now, Ty, let's talk about Bellinger because he's going to garner interest from both the Yankees and the Mets. How real do you think the Mets should actually engage in a pursuit here? As
real as it gets. I mean, he solves a lot of their problems because last year, what kind of flew under the radar was how awful they were defensively. We're so used to saying that about the Yankees, but the Mets just were terrible defensively. His versatility, being able to play all three outfield positions and first base, I think gives them a boost, but also offensively returning. I don't want to say to the guy where he was at his peak, where he's an MVP, but he was pretty darn
Wasn't far
good.
off.
Yeah, it was pretty darn good for the Yankees when you look at all the metrics. So they have to be in on him to the highest degree possible. But obviously, you know, with Screwball and with Pete Alonso, probably prioritizing that a little bit more.
Should have been an all-star this past season. JJ's an all-star here, but we got to kick you out of here. Ty, you stay with us.